It was the plane that simply vanished. Air France Flight 447, bound from Brazil to Paris, crashed in the Atlantic Ocean, killing the 228 people on board. Today, after a 3-year investigation, the official report's frightening conclusion: the pilots could have saved that plane, but did not know how to. The report reaches a conclusion very similar to our investigation that we aired last month on this broadcast, and now 2020 co-anchor Elizabeth Vargas takes us back to that fateful night in June 2009.
It is 3.5 hours into the flight. It's almost 11 p.m., and the airplane is still cruising at 37,000 feet when Captain Marc Dubois, a veteran Air France pilot, makes a fateful decision. Though his Airbus A330 is heading into a thunderstorm 800 miles off the coast of Brazil, he gets up to take a scheduled rest break.
Where on an A330 does the captain go? How far away from the cockpit?
It's only a few feet away. I mean, you can get back in 10 seconds.
It is only a few minutes later that the plane's pitot tube, a piece of equipment that reads the airspeed, suddenly fails. This means the automatic pilot system shuts off. It is now 11:10 p.m. Now control of the aircraft and the lives of the 228 people on board is in the hands of the least experienced of the 3-man crew, Cedric Bonin. Bill Voss of the Flight Safety Foundation and 2 test pilots joined us in an A330 flight simulator to recreate what happened in the final crucial moments.
The autopilot disconnects.
The autopilot disconnects. So let's see how that looks. There's a warning. The aircraft is now in my control. I have to fly it manually.
All of a sudden, the computers are not in charge. Cedric Bonin, just 32 years old, is.
At this point, Captain Bonin makes his first mistake. He should have just kept the plane flying. He shouldn't have changed anything. But instead, what did he do? He pulled the nose of the plane up.
A fairly dramatic pitch up.
Raising the nose of the plane is precisely the wrong thing to do. It can essentially cause the airplane to start falling out of the sky. It is the most baffling and disastrous minute of the flight. Soon, the plane's stall warning goes off.
Stalled.
But no one seems to pay any attention.
Stalled.
It actually sounded for a total of 54 seconds, which is a long time.
As the stall gets worse, the plane becomes harder to fly. On the black box recordings, Bonin says, "I don't have control of the airplane at all." By now, the other co-pilot is calling for the captain. "Where is he?" he asks at one point. And then again, "Is he coming?"
They keep saying repeatedly, "What's happening? What's happening? Where's the captain?" They call for the captain 6 times.
Yeah.
We don't know why, but it took Captain Dubois more than a minute, 60 crucial seconds, to return to the cockpit. "What's happening?" the captain asks. "I don't know what's happening," one of the co-pilots answers.
What does that tell you about what's going on in that cockpit?
It seems that the pilots did not understand the situation, and they were not aware that they had stalled.
Within seconds, the plane has entered such a deep stall it is plummeting at 120 miles an hour in the dark, belly first, with the nose slightly up. And in the confusion, co-pilot Bonin thinks his instruments are wrong. He is so befuddled that he asks, "Am I going down?" By now, the plane is pitching and shuddering as it falls. I got the chance to experience what that felt like in the Airbus simulator. In the cockpit, confusion has turned to chaos. Both co-pilots are now trying to fly the plane in opposite directions.
At what altitude was this jumbo jet beyond saving?
This aircraft got into a position where no one had ever designed it to be. Realistically, somewhere in the area of 10 or 15,000 feet, they were really running out of options.
It is too late, but it is not until the final seconds that the pilots realize the plane is doomed.
And the very last words we hear on the cockpit voice recorder are from the pilot Bonin, who says, "But what's happening?"
Exactly. Yeah, just a complete confusion.
In this case, the pilots were too worried about the computers and what the displays were showing and what the computer readouts were showing, and it ended up costing the tragic lives of many people, and it didn't need to happen because it was a perfectly good airplane that the crew inadvertently flew into the water.